That was a quick meeting. That was the fastest meeting in history, guys. Okay, I'm calling this meeting to order at 5:30 PM. Remember, this is a formal city council meeting, so the rules of decorum are in place. Please remain quiet during the meeting, except for the times in which you are either called to the podium to speak, or if you have a public comment or a comment to one of the public hearings. Let's please stand for the pledges. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Please be seated. City Secretary, we have a quorum this evening. Proof of notice of meeting.
Thank you, Mayor. Notice of this meeting was posted by 3 PM on August 13th.
Okay, great, thank you. If you are going to give a public comment, you'll have 3 minutes. Remember, the council cannot respond to you, and you'll need to come up and state your name and ward. City Secretary, do we have any public
We
comments?
do not.
Public hearings, same thing, 3 minutes. You'll come to the podium, state your name and your ward. Council cannot respond to you. City Secretary, we're opening public hearings at 5:31. Public hearing A, to obtain citizen views and comments regarding the second and final reading of ordinance 2025-08-01. An ordinance approving rezone application 2025-08-01, amending the official zoning map of the city by rezoning the property located at 601 South Walker and legally described as lots 3, 4, 5, block 49, Hancock Edition, south of the railroad, to the city of Alpine, Brewster County, Texas, as the same appears in the plat records of Brewster County, Texas, rezoning the subject property from R4 mixed residential district to C0 office services district, providing findings of fact, repealer, severability, effective date, proper notice, and hearing clauses. Is there anyone here to speak on behalf of this issue? Seeing none, moving on to public hearing B, to obtain citizen views and comments regarding resolution 2025-08-0-20, a resolution approving the 2026-2030 capital improvement plan. Is there anyone here to speak on behalf of this public hearing? Okay, seeing none, I'm closing public hearings at 5:33. We're moving on to public presentations. There are none. Proclamations, we do have one. Abel, if you will please come on up to the front. Let's do the proclamation for National Aviation Day. All right. Whereas in honor of Orville Wright's contributions to the growth and advancement of the aviation industry, President Franklin D. Roosevelt proclaimed August 19th to be National Aviation Day. And whereas aviation industry has continued to grow and advance and is critical to our economy and our way of life, and whereas individuals, families, businesses, government agencies rely on air transportation to get from place to place, move cargo between businesses, to keep our borders secure, to control wildfires, to support agriculture, and more. And whereas the city of Alpine and the Alpine Casperos Municipal Airport employees encourage and support the aviation community, now therefore I, Catherine Eves, Mayor of the city of Alpine, Texas, on behalf of the community, do hereby announce and proclaim to all citizens and set seal hereto that August 19th, 2025 as National Aviation Day, and encourage all citizens of the city of Alpine to learn more about aviation in our city and to recognize the contributions of hardworking professionals who support all sectors of this vital industry. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand this 19th day of August in the year 2020. Thank you, Abel. One more?
Thank you. All right, perfect.
Great, thank you. Yeah. Okay, so we're moving on to community interest items. City Secretary, 1 minute on the clock for each member of council, starting with mayor announcements. September 18th through 20th is trappings at the Big Bend Museum. September 25th through 27th, Sul Ross State University Rodeo. And then October 3rd and 4th is the Bluegrass Festival. So those are some things that are coming up pretty quickly here in our community. Okay, City Secretary, City Manager announcements.
Thank you, Mayor. I only have two announcements. One is that we're gonna have a budget workshop on August 26th, 2025 at 5:30 PM. That's 1 week from today. And the second one is there will be another budget workshop ahead of the regular meeting on September 2nd, 2025 at 4 PM.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, City Council member announcements. 1 minute on the clock for each council member, please, City Secretary. Councilmember Stevens.
Thanks, Mayor. The only thing I have to add is Sul Ross starts school on August 25th, next Monday, so they're gonna be filling back up on campus, already filling up. The dorms are loaded up right now.
Good deal. Councilmember Escobedo.
I just wanted to say I appreciate the firefighters for going and they're checking out on the fire hydrants at all hours. They're doing a great job.
Great. Yes, thank you. Councilmember Lucas. Councilmember Martinez. Councilmember Portillo.
Oh, man.
Okay. Moving on to changes to posted agenda. Council, are there any items to be continued or withdrawn? Seeing none. Council, are there any items to be removed from the consent agenda for separate discussion? Seeing none. Council, are there any action items to be added to the consent agenda? Seeing none. Are there any time-sensitive items? Okay, moving on. There are no time-sensitive items. Let's move on to the consent agenda. City Secretary.
Thank you, Mayor. Tonight's consent agenda contains 3 items. Item A, approval of the August 5th, 2025 regular meeting minutes. Item B, approval of the July 2025 Office of the City Secretary report. And item C, approval of the July 2025 invoice for Borges Law Firm Services.
I need a motion.
Consent agenda as presented.
I need a second.
Second.
Let's vote.
Aye.
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 City Secretary Council voted unanimously to approve the consent agenda as written this evening. Okay, there were no items removed, reports and presentations. 6 minutes on the clock for each report or presentation. The first one is City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. We have the Alpine Volunteer Fire Department update from James Etchison, and I invite him to go ahead and provide that report for the city.
Okay, great. Hi, James. Good, how are you? Okay, just be sure to state for anybody on the video, your name, who you're with.
James Etchen, Chief of the Fire Department. Just a quick overview of everything we've done last month in July. You may have noticed there's been a lot of fires around the county area. Working with the local ranchers to do some wildfire mitigation. My most noticeable will be out in Sunny Glen. We worked with K Gage Ranch and we did a complete fire line across the mountain line. So just in case there is something happening, it won't go past that mountain either way. So we do have a good fire break over in Sunny Glen and we're continuing this effort to make the fire breaks more prevalent so we can protect our community from coming in or going out either way. We have been doing a lot of flight operations with the local US military, Army and the airfield, doing hoist operation for rescue in the mountains for lost hikers or anybody that just decides that they want to be a hiker that day. We've had a couple miscommunications, but we've gotten it done with some brush fires that were called in, but Border Patrol was the big culprit on that one. They called the wrong address and we arrived at a residence that was actually good, but we worked it all out. Everything was good to go. We were doing some good training this last week. We're doing some truck etiquette, teaching the firefighters, the things that you need to do when you're in the truck. And, your jobs, whenever you get to a scene and jump out. So we're keeping that pretty good. We had, I believe it was 8 firefighters test for SFFMA for firefighter 1, firefighter 2. They all passed. So they have that certification now. We just passed our first hazmat awareness certification for pro board, so now we're nationally certified for hazmat operations. This upcoming weekend is gonna be hazmat. The big one is a 2-day course for more hazmat operations and awareness. This will pretty much put a bow on the national certification for firefighters. We're Texas certified, now we're gonna get nationally certified, so we're gonna move one step forward.
Great.
Our resources, we have engine 3 back that was damaged during the downtown fire. We recently got it back. She's running great. Holding water and helping us put out fire. So we're doing really good on that. Engine 2 is gonna be reevaluated for repairs. It was a bad fuel pump and a cracked tank. We're gonna see about possibly getting that repaired instead of throwing it away. Brush 4 is our newest vehicle. It is a Humvee that was obtained from Texas A&M Forest Service. It runs great. It's a great running truck. We're currently in the process of getting it repainted and putting lights on it and a radio inside of it so we can actually start using it for operations. And that's gonna be great for these operations in the mountains because we can go anywhere now. There's nothing that can stop us. So we're looking forward to driving through everything. And then other things that we're doing, the burn house outside, getting it refurbished and cleaned up. But we'll talk about that later on. Probably I'll just stay up here, but I think that's the next agenda item.
Good. Yeah.
But that's all I have for my report. for
Yeah.
July.
Councilmember Lucas has been keeping us appraised of what's going on with the burn house, so that's great. Thank you for everything you're doing. I'm glad to hear that everybody's getting trained. We have equipment that we need. Thank you.
I have a good set of guys that
Yes, you.
are very eager to learn, so.
All right, Councilmember Portillo,
No, ma'am, no comments. Thank you.
Councilmember Martinez.
Thank you so much for everything you are doing. You're showing a big improve now. Thank you.
Councilmember Lucas,
Appreciate you.
Councilmember Escovedo,
Thank you.
Councilmember Stevens.
Oh, thanks, Dave.
Okay, great, thank you.
Let me sit down there.
Yep.
Yes, okay.
That's it. Good.
Be right back.
Yes, glad you're gonna stay. All right, so that takes us on. Oh, well, I guess you really didn't need to sit down. It's okay, it's great exercise, right? Okay, discussion item A belongs to Councilmember Lucas.
Discussion regarding the upkeep of fire hydrants and possibly utilizing the Alpine Volunteer Fire Department for providing required upgrades to fire hydrants within the city.
Pretty much support element up with me, to my board member. Dave.
All right, come on up. Come on up.
There you go. That's my mouthpiece right there.
Don't be shy.
Oh, I'm not.
So, I guess, Mike, if you want to join him as well, sir. So as it's been stated, our department's testing hydrants across the city. We're just over 200, and with the way it stands right now, we're roughly about 10% of them are not functioning. For me, it's not acceptable whatsoever at all, and I think it's where everybody's consensus is, especially if it's one of those hydrants next to your residence or your business. And so for me, it's like, here's the problem, what's the solution? And so we're looking through all the solutions. I've talked to our new utilities director, Mike, and also our fire chief, James Etchison, on trying to figure out what solutions we can go about to do it. And Mike's saying he's maybe a year to 2 years out before his team would be able to start going through the trainings that they would need to be able to do this, and then also have the time to actually be able to address them. And so therefore, I talked with James Etchison on maybe the volunteer fire department taking over, maybe a year at a time, and ironing out the semantics is what I would like this discussion to be.
Cool.
Okay, so Councilmember Portillo,
Well, I think y'all, get it. Y'all have enough time to take care of what y'all need to do, right?
Yeah, that's what we kind of wanted to come talk to you all about, because this is, I've stated numerous times, this is a 600-pound gorilla that is going to beat us pretty bad. because it is so extensive. We have the knowledge of being able to open up the hydrants, test them, make sure they work. But anything that's below the roots, we have no knowledge. We're ignorant to that kind of stuff. So we would be willing to continue maintenance by making sure that they work and that the pressure's right on. But as far as anything else goes on that, it would probably require us to contract that out to somebody that's a little bit more knowledgeable, especially somebody that's bonded and legal to do it. That way, in case something does happen, it doesn't come back and say, well, you guys messed this up. So we'd like to get it done properly and correct. That's kind of where we stand with this.
Director Macias?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's better to relinquish some of this. It's not a burden, and it's just not a matter of if it's gonna happen, it's when it's gonna happen, and it's really disheartening to know that it's at this point, but I think it's at a point where we can rectify it with you guys. We're spread pretty thin at the moment, so I don't know what solutions we can come up with as far as, like you said, from the bottom. Blake knows, I have a few team players that know how to, part of the guys that know a little bit about, or a lot about it, but it's just we're trying to, we're chasing leaks at the moment. But definitely we can come together and maybe come up with some sort of a solution. If y'all wanted to, I don't know if it'd be something feasible on our end, but could we give them some of our budget to kind of work on that, training or something? I don't know what the solution is, but maybe in a year's time, we could get in the fold as far as training a couple guys or a few guys or all of us, but that way we can kind of start working together. I think I don't know if that's even something that can happen, but I like that whole idea.
Of having a contractor.
I do, yeah, I think that's probably the best solution at the moment.
Okay. Councilmember Stevens?
So how many fire hydrants do we have and how many need servicing?
We have 200 and, I'm gonna say 250, but it's 249. I'm still finding hydrants.
Still looking for them, right?
hidden. So we're up to 250. And so far 20 of them are not putting out any water.
So about 10%.
Yes,
And do we have a sense about what the issues are? Are they above ground, below ground, or we have no idea?
that's firefighters. The wet stuff don't come out. So that's all we know.
So water doesn't come out, but we can turn valves on and water doesn't come out, or we
Correct.
can't even turn
Yeah,
it
we
on?
turn the valve all the way up and nothing comes out. Not even air, nothing.
Okay, so it's more fundamental than just changing a seal, changing a valve.
It's a lot more in depth than that.
Okay,
That's what got us balking a little bit, is the fact that
yep.
we don't know what's going on with that, and we don't have that kind of machinery.
And do we know, like, what it costs to change out a fire hydrant if you gotta go below ground?
I don't know the numbers. I know Hoot Vaughn did a few years back. But I don't know what he charged, and I think he did about 4 or 5. I don't quote me on that, but I know he did a few of them. I don't know.
The
I can get back to you
material
on that.
to rebuild the hydrant is $400.
So rebuilding the hydrant's not a big deal,
Above
but you
ground.
can't even get air out.
It would be a diaphragm in the ground. It's just a worm gear with a diaphragm in the bottom.
Oh, that's all it
That's
is.
all it is.
Oh, how far down is that diaphragm or that?
It depends on how deep the tap is.
Oh,
So it would be so it's cast iron coming off of our main 6-inch.
Yeah.
It's gonna 90 up, and then it's gonna be bolted down with 6 or 8 bolts. Almost all of ours are Wastemaster or WM, which is a
Okay.
$400 rebuild kit. You can unbolt it, pull your hydrant, and you can rebuild.
so are you guys ready to go experiment with one?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, my reaction is you almost go try one, turn the water off, take it apart, see what happens. I think we're getting a lot more insight once you figure out one. And then you'll be able to say, okay, it's a doable do, or this is too doggone hard, and then you gotta work for plan B. I support going doing that. Yeah, and how long does it take, do we have any idea how long it takes to tear one down, put it back together?
No, sir. Geeks does offer training as well. It's like $750. It's a 2-day course.
Mhm.
My reaction is we ought to go spend the money to go do that, try it out and see what happens, then come back and we decide what we're gonna do from a budget standpoint. The other question I have, are all these 10% in the same spot or they're spread all over?
Spread all over.
Okay, so the good news is they're not isolated, so you still got reach.
Yeah.
Okay,
I sent a map that shows kind of where the inoperable ones are. This is taking a while. There's a lot of hydrants. So we've been doing this for about a couple months now.
Yeah,
And the ones, you can't really tell them here, but the ones that are black
Yep.
are the ones that are,
so the reason I ask you, so it's not a crisis all gonna happen tomorrow because you got a pocket that's not covered. They're
we,
spread all over.
we have backup plans and judiciary plans just in case.
Okay. Yeah, so my reaction, we got time, I'd go play with it if much. Got a couple grand to go figure it out, see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's, not really important to us, but I know the people in those areas are,
Oh.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
they've been freaking out, especially about the ones in Sunny Glen.
Mhm.
Councilmember Escobedo?
I agree. I mean, we need to see what we're facing.
Mhm.
And if, the 2,000 to start off with and go from there. I mean, it's not acceptable to not have fire hydrants working.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, when I was seeing them going through, I guess it was like at 10 or 11 o'clock at night, and they were going through the ones over on East Avenue in that area. And it felt good, and everybody should have that feeling of safety and that that their fire hydrants by their places are working,
Mhm.
Especially right now in these times when so much is going on.
Mhm.
And then we can revisit, of course, as soon as possible. If we need to pull out more money of what we need to do, we allocate money.
Mhm.
Councilmember Martinez?
My question, actually I have two questions. My question is, they never were checked before. That's why really they're finding all these issues and how, because nobody has license to get fixed, so that's means you never faced this problem before?
Well, I think previously there must have been some sort of preventive maintenance log, or I think you want to exercise the valves all over town as well as fire hydrants. So that's something that we need to implement and get on board with. Once we get everything rectified, I think we'll have a PM log. Hey, let's exercise these fire hydrants. That way, we don't have that problem. So if there was one, we need to start implementing as soon as we get this.
Yeah, I agree they need to be fixed, so I like that idea. So my other question is, 250 are enough for the city or we need more?
There's a couple spots that could probably use a hydrant. I don't know what the city's water capability would be to be able to pipe it to those areas. So, I mean, we can plot some areas that would be a good suggestion, and then we can talk to Mike and see if that's an area that can be supported with a fire hydrant.
Yeah.
Because when I was going out towards, like McElroy Ranch, out there's no fire hydrants. There's a couple other spots that are kind of far out, and if you look on the map, there's a couple, look in the areas where there's no dots. Mostly Mosley Loop doesn't have very many out there. So, I mean,
City Secretary, can you make sure we get that map?
I sent it to you all by email.
Email, okay.
Oh,
I
by
can
email.
resend it.
Yeah, please.
So, my name is Mark Rose, I'm a county appointee on the board, and we had a discussion about this at our last meeting. I think we need to clarify just a couple of things. I think with us having taken on the assignment to review the fire hydrants throughout the city and the county, what we plan to do is give you more than just a map. What we believe we need to report back to the city is not only where are they, because they haven't, many of them ever really been mapped. And get that into a system, so first we know where they all are and that we're mapping them. And then we need to give you an assessment of what is not functioning. And with that, council member, I think a vulnerability report, because I'm a little concerned just saying, oh, it's okay. Because I think you're gonna see that there are some significant holes, and you're not, I don't think you're gonna be comfortable with the report that we give you. We need to do that in a very formal way. Because, there is obviously a significant liability aspect here. We've identified a fairly significant issue in the community. Fire hydrants not not working. And so I think it's to everyone's best interest then to step back and look at the full implication of that. I think we also can give you a general estimate of what we think is gonna take to repair this. And then have a conversation from both a reliability and also a liability perspective, the best way to approach this. I think on an ongoing basis, and we've discussed as a board, we certainly, first and foremost, should know where all the fire hydrants are and should be screaming to the rooftops if they're not working. And so we can clearly take the responsibility of making sure that there's a system of fire hydrants throughout the community that are operable. I think the fixing part of it, we need to have some more conversations, and I think you will want to have some conversations about the best way to do that. So everyone's interest, the communities as well as the councils, is protected. Hope that makes sense.
Yes. And what is your recommendation as far as how to go about fixing?
I think that I know that folks know how to fix things, and of course, the city already is in that position in terms of, you know, the ownership of the hydrants. But you want to make absolutely certain that once you think that fire hydrant is fixed, it really is fixed. Because from that point forward, I mean, you already own it, but you really own it after you said you fixed it, and then for some reason it isn't operable. We can look around and see how some other communities similar sizes do it. But whether it's the water department doing it, is it better and faster to own it and get a bonded contractor in here and say, over this course of time, get these fixed? That's the conversation, Mayor, that I think we need to have. I agree with the councilman, we can go out and look at one and see. But I don't know if that's not the most efficient way to fix 30 fire hydrants, then you may want to approach something more aggressive. And that would be the reason you might consider a contractor as opposed to city staff.
Yeah, the question is money. New fire hydrants are about 20,000 a piece. So, you know, it's a question of, there are not limited dollars. That's why I asked the question in terms of.
Absolutely.
What's the time frame?
And we need to get back to you on that. I don't think anyone knows that right now. We're still trying to figure out exactly what is and is not working and where there's not appropriate. We just really learned about this last week, so it's as new to us as it is to you. We will get you a comprehensive report that's mapped out, and we will, make certain that all that is identified. And then that's when I say, Councilmember, I think there needs to be a second discussion once we get that information about best practices. Because there's a liability factor as well as a money factor.
I'm not sure the liability factor, but that's a separate discussion. Yeah. Are we loading this in the GIS?
We are, yes. I'm working with Casey. We're kind of getting this,
Great.
everything mapped up.
Just one other thing too, Rusty Moore, also a member, ASB director. One thing to further complicate this that we're learning is that you may have a single manufacturer. As council member has disclosed, we're learning there's probably 50 different models, 50 plus different models from that. So one thing we want to make sure of in this comprehensive review is that those models are defined, are disclosed. So we could reach out to that manufacturer and say, well, this refurb kit, does it transcend all these different models? What is the difference? What is unique? I thought a fire hydrant was a fire hydrant.
Yeah.
But apparently now it's out a year, is it, does it, the guts the same? Anyway, we're learning a lot about this. So, but there's, which I had no idea. But you're up to what, 50 now, different type models of a fire hydrant. So.
Wow.
Well, we want to make sure that it's, as Margaret stated, that it's very comprehensive, that all that's listed, so it can be approached appropriately.
And as the council member says, that this information is not lost.
Yeah.
Yes.
Councilmember Lucas?
I think we should have a discussion. I've talked to suppliers and whatnot. Rebuild kits are the same. I'm also licensed, insured, and bonded to be able to do it. Yeah, we should sit down sometime.
Who you and the board?
Sure, yeah, so we can figure out which direction we want to go with this and start moving in that direction.
Anything else, council? Hey, thank
Thank
you.
you, gentlemen. Thank you.
Actually, something on the.
Yeah, you are.
Do you need a share?
Yeah, you're the star of the party tonight. All right, Councilmember Lucas, you have item B.
Item B, discussion regarding relocation or possible donation of the city-owned shipping container to the Alpine Volunteer Fire Department. The shipping container that we have the mural on over there on the Volunteer Fire Department's property, really county property, does not belong to the county or the Volunteer Fire Department. It belongs to us. And so the fire department had to empty it out maybe about a year ago now. And it's just been sitting there. And so at this point, if we could either get it moved to where they can put something there that they can use it or use for storage, or donate it to them so they can continue to use it as they were before. What are your thoughts?
I say donate it.
Yeah.
I'm with
I
you.
mean,
If
Do
y'all,
you- do you
if you
need
find
it?
it usable,
Oh, we could definitely use it.
Okay.
Okay.
You can keep it.
so you would want it?
If
Okay,
the
so,
city's not using it for anything, it's been empty,
okay,
it makes more sense just to donate to the fire department. They'll use it.
Councilmember Martinez?
Do we have to have in writing that we donated to you, so for
Yes.
future references?
Especially for your records.
Yeah, it's, yeah, definitely, if you have any use, I would recommend it to donate to you, so.
Are you using it right now?
No,
No, okay. Councilmember Escobedo?
I agree. I mean, there's no reason for something to just be sitting there and being a waste of space.
All right.
I mean, if y'all need it.
Councilmember Stevens?
Why don't we just add it as an asset that the city has with the emergency services board, like we did fire trucks and everything else? That way it becomes part of the emergency services board and part of our fire equipment. That doesn't require a loan, you just throw the asset in. My view, that's a pretty quick, easy thing to go do.
Councilmember Lucas?
What do you think, Chief?
I think it'd be great. I know the other issue is that mural that's on the side. Trying to get it reworked. Everything's falling apart. It wasn't sealed, so it's peeling off. And in order to remove it, it's gonna take extensive, because it was hard to the side of the Lennox box. And it was drilled into the side, so I don't know what we want to do with the mural. Repainting it wouldn't do any good. It would just go.
Would you like a new mural?
We would like to. We were trying to work on getting our new mural,
Uh-huh.
but we ran into the issue with that mural being part of the city property.
Well, now it's yours, you
Sweet,
can make a new one.
awesome.
Okay, anything else, council?
So did we come to closure on the game plan?
Yes.
We're gonna put in the ASB, just make that an asset like a fire truck and they got it.
Yeah, that should work, right, board? Yeah. Okay. All right, good.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'll sit down for a couple bullets. I'll be back.
Go far. Okay, discussion item C, Councilmember Stevens.
Thanks so much, Mayor. The reason I put this on the agenda was talk about floodplain. As we all know, there's about 1,000 properties in Alpine that are considered within the floodplain. And floodplain insurance is 20% more. So if you do, kind of the math, you work your way through, that's worth $200,000 to residents of Alpine.
Mhm.
In my view, we ought to get someone who's knowledgeable about the topo around here to make some recommendations to come back to council as to how we might be able to get the floodplain changed, either through flood control, better flood control, and or to resurvey that. And if it makes sense to council, I'll go do some homework and come back with some plans, but I wanted to make sure we all had a discussion about that.
I think that's a great
Yeah.
idea. I'm one of the ones in the floodplain. Yeah. so true.
Good. I'll go
Councilmember,
work it.
Councilmember Escobedo,
I'm in agreement too.
okay. Councilmember Lucas,
So,
yes,
okay.
okay, sounds
Okay,
good.
great.
Go work it.
I'll bring back a plan. I'll work with Gio on getting that back in terms of proposing back to council.
Okay, great,
Okay.
thank you. All right, and let's see, discussion item D. Councilmember Stevens.
Hey, thanks so much again, Mayor. So when we had the swearing in, the other day, I hadn't seen the judge in a long time, and I asked her, I said, hey, when are you gonna come talk to us? She says, we need to get that on the agenda. I said, oh, we're responsible for that, and so I just wanted to, in my view, we used to get our city judge come talk to us once a quarter, once every 6 months. I asked Elizabeth, she thought it'd be a good thing, she's by all means happy to go do it. I just want to make sure we're okay with that. I don't know if we want to put her on a quarterly or every 6 months and have her kind of give us an update. I would say, looking at the city website, there's a lot of great data out there already, but I think it'd be worthwhile for her to kind of give us an update about what's going on. Just want to get you all to say, yeah, it makes sense, or no, it's a dumb idea.
I think it makes sense. Judge Valenzuela used to do it,
I
correct?
know, yeah, that number used to do all the time.
Yeah.
Okay,
Very good.
Councilmember Lucas,
Good work.
Councilmember Martinez, Tio.
Good.
Yeah, so frequency, once every
Every
6 months,
6 months.
6
Yeah, that's
months.
probably good. Okay, I'll work with you. We can work that, get on the agenda every 6 months to go work that. And she's ready to go do it. So,
Yeah, especially if she wants to do it,
yep.
bring her in.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, and moving on to discussion item E. I think this is in regards to the burn house, correct?
Yes, regard
Okay.
to the burn house. So thanks very much, Mayor. Yeah, a number of us were out there looking at the burn house. And part of the discussion was, given that we have the Emergency Services Board, and that the burn house is currently a city asset. Fire department was out there cleaning things up and ripped off the old stuff. We got the CMU. That's another asset, in my view, that we ought to ask the ASP to take over, the Alpine, or the Emergency Service Board. Move that asset in and let them manage that and come back with recommendations to us about how to work it. It's a great training asset. I know we're gonna have to make some investments to get a roof on it. But I think that'd be the right way to go work it since they're integrating all that for us. And again, it doesn't require a transfer, but it requires us acknowledging that and ask them to go work it. James?
James Epson, Fire Chief. So yeah, the training area that's been out near the water treatment plant has been vacant for about 22 years, I think was what we did the math on it. And it hasn't been used. It's been going slowly into the ground. Well, we went out there and we cleaned it up. We took all the old rotting wood off of it. We sprayed it down with some antifungal stuff to get rid of all the mold and everything that's inside of it.
It was
And
slimy.
It's gross.
It was pretty gross. And we took care of the area and we cleaned up really well. And after we did that, we established that it would make a fantastic training facility. We can definitely put it to good use. I mean, the way it is now, we could probably use it for room clearing. What we want to do, we want to, have our own live burns. We want to do extrication. We want to do venting and all that good stuff with this building. And with good cleanup and support from the county and the city, we can definitely get it moving forward.
I'm all in favor.
Sweet.
Councilmember Portillo,
I think it's a good idea.
Councilmember Martinez.
It's a great idea. It's a regional so that we cover Alpine,
We'll be open to everybody
everybody.
Who wants to come train?
who wants to come.
Wonderful.
We'll have some control over it. So we just want anybody walking in there and doing a burn.
All right.
It'd be nice if we could put some millings down and get a good base down so we can have our trucks on there and maybe fence it off. That way we can lock it, secure it. That way not anybody can just walk in there, into our training facility, or keep out vagrants, or keep out animals. Just about anything to keep it protected, a little bit more protected than it is now. That'd be a good plan for us moving forward.
Yeah, that was my next question. So, yeah, you just answered the question. They would be close. Thank you.
Councilmember Lucas. Councilmember Escobedo.
And you said, where was it located?
Next to the water treatment facility,
I think it's a good idea.
Councilmember Stevens.
The only other thing, Gio, do we need to do anything? So we just talked about two assets, talked about a shipping container, we talked about this. What do we need to do paperwork wise to get this papered up between the county and the city? So these assets move over to the Emergency Services Board.
Well, as far as the shipping container, I need to look into that, but there may be some issues with the land because the city's prohibited by law from granting anything of value, like. as
I
far
wouldn't
as real
grant,
estate.
just say they have control.
So I would want Cynthia to comment on the legality of the transfer of the property or how that would work. As far as the shipping container, I would have to look into that. I'm not too sure.
Okay, Cynthia?
Right, so as far as any donations, you have two options there for papering it. You know, you can either just do a resolution that finds that, you know, and lay out all the public purpose, which is basically, you know, in exchange for having good firefighter services and fire suppression services, you're providing, you know, these assets for their use. So we either document that through a resolution, a very simple donation type of agreement, and you know that would work for the shipping container. That would also work for the regional fire training center. That could be just an interlocal agreement between, you know, whoever the participants are. And again, doesn't have to be anything overly complicated. It just, you know, ensures that we lay out that public purpose, which is we're allowing the use of these items and the use of the city's property and such in exchange for having those firefighting services. So relatively simple to do. We just, you know, you all knock out what the terms look like, and I just plug them into, you know, I say simplified. I just think that these things don't have to be overly complicated, but it would have it would meet all your legal requirements so that everybody has the legal protections that they need.
Okay, so, Gio, how about we work together, pull that together, James, with you and get that papered up so it moves over.
Sounds great.
Good, thanks, Cynthia.
Thank you. Good, thank you. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I think you get to sit for a while now. Okay, moving on to action items. Action item A belongs to city manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Item A is approved the second and final reading of ordinance 2025-08-01. An ordinance approving rezone application 2025-08-01, amending the official zoning map of the city by rezoning the property located at 601 South Walker and legally described as lots number 3, 4, and 5, block 49, Hancock Addition, south of the railroad, for the city of Alpine, Brewster County, Texas, as the same appears in the plat records of Brewster County, Texas, rezoning the subject property from R4 mixed residential district to C0 office services district, providing findings of fact, repealer, severability, effective date, proper notice, and hearing clauses.
I need a motion.
Mayor, I move we approve the second and final reading of ordinance 2025-08-01 as presented.
I need a second.
Second.
Okay, discussion. City manager.
Thank you. This is the final reading to approve the rezoning of 601 South Walker. Planning and Zoning Commission did recommend approval of the rezone, and the city council subsequently recommended approval, including findings of fact that are updated in the ordinance that's presented in front of you. Do you all have any questions?
Any questions, council? Nope. Okay, we ready to vote? Let's vote.
Aye.
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 City Secretary, council voted unanimously to approve the second and final reading of ordinance 2025-08-01. Moving on to action item B, city manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Item B is approved resolution 2025-08-18. A resolution approving and adopting updates to the official zoning map of the city of Alpine, Texas, making certain findings, finding compliance with the open meetings law, and providing an effective date thereof.
Okay, I need a motion.
Move we approve resolution 2025-08-18.
Okay. Discussion, city manager.
Thank you. This resolution approves and adopts updates to the official zoning map to reflect zoning changes previously approved by the city council.
Okay, great.
Do you all have any questions?
Okay, Councilmember Stevens.
Did you get a chance to work 504 Northburg?
I have not. We need to take a look at the initial plat. I did have a conversation with Casey from Rio Grand Council of Governments who helps us with the mapping. And she agrees that we need to take a look at the boundaries, right? That's the.
Yeah, that's the boundary one, yeah.
But for that particular one, we're gonna need to look at the original plat at the county. Just to figure if or not that subject property is within the city limits. We have run into a couple of issues like that, but this isn't the one that we used to determine the official city limits. But I have not been able to get that original plat yet.
And the basis behind that on the existing one that was done in 2013 is excluded. And so she'll let me go back and forth on it. It's like Geos had nothing else to go do to go work that, so. And what he shared is that's not the official city limits, but that is one property I'd like to exclude until we get that sorted out. Other than that, I'm good with the rest of it.
Councilmember Lucas?
I'm good with it. I think this is a long time coming.
Yeah, 2013.
Yeah.
But we need to move on. Councilmember Portillo?
Nope.
Okay, Councilmember Martinez?
I think it's time to prove it and move on. We've been talking for a long time since I wasn't planning and so on.
Yes.
So I mean, a couple of years ago.
Yes. Councilmember Escobedo?
Ready?
All right, let's vote.
Aye.
You wanna make-
Oh, with the.
Oh, I want to make the amendment, sorry.
Oh,
about that,
okay,
to
okay.
Exclude 504 North Bird.
Exclude 504 North Bird, and you seconded it. Any discussion on that amendment?
No.
Okay, all right, so let's vote on the amendment to exclude 504 North Bird on this resolution.
Aye.
Okay, City Secretary Council voted unanimously to approve the amendment to exclude 504 North Bird on resolution 2025-08-18. Now let's vote on the motion as amended.
Aye.
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 Okay, and so we approved the motion as amended.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, been a while. Woo. Okay, moving on to action item C, City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Item C is approved resolution 2025-08-19, a resolution approving the 2026 to 2030 capital improvement plan.
I need a motion.
Makes a motion, Mayor, to approve 2021 or 2025 tax 08 tax 19 as presented.
Okay, I need a second.
Second.
All right, discussion, City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. This resolution would adopt the city's capital improvement plan for 2026 through 2030. And it would be included in the budget. if approved.
Okay, Councilmember Portillo,
No question.
Councilmember Martinez,
I'm agree with that. As presented.
Councilmember Lucas.
No.
Councilmember Escobedo,
No question.
Councilmember Stevens.
Yeah, thanks, Mayor. So I know I'm the holdout on this doggone thing. Because when I look at the capital improvement plan, I know we need to pass it. It does not reflect what's in the proposed 2026 plan. So I just struggle with it saying we're gonna approve a capital improvement plan. We talked about it at the last meeting. It's essentially a wish list, but it doesn't relate or correlate at all to the 2026 proposed plan. And so the good news is we have a plan. That's good. Challenge is, I don't know. If we added words in there that says it's a wish list, I'm all for it. But it doesn't reflect what our plan is.
City Manager, was this any different from last year's capital improvement plan that council approved?
It was, the last 3 years, the previous city manager had ample time to prepare one. But the years prior was a basic 2-page spreadsheet. That was the norm for many years until Megan took over and had ample time to prepare it.
So what did she have in there that we don't have? She had where it was coming from in the budget?
Not necessarily, even then it was a wish list, but she did have a by year, like plan 1, 2, 3. You know, this year we'll do this much, this year we'll do that much, which is of course great, but that capital improvement plan was due the day she resigned, so. I didn't have anywhere near as long to prepare it, we spent hours on it, and we really don't have bandwidth to redo it.
Did she turn in the capital improvement plan
No, it was due
the day she
deadline.
resigned?
Deadline for to get it approved by the charter, deadline would have been June 3rd. the day she resigned. Yeah.
Was hers labeled as wish list?
No,
Was the one prior to hers labeled as wish list? The 2-page
no,
spreadsheet?
they've never been, they've been very, like I said, in the past, aside from the last 3 she's done, it was a basic 2-page spreadsheet. One of them was, or a couple of them were 1 page under Jessica Garza as well, so.
Okay.
I definitely think we should improve it going forward.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's a great idea to do that in the
Right.
future.
To write wish list and to include the items Councilmember Stevens is referring to.
You know, we can certainly write wish list on there. if like, if y'all would like, but it's never historically been done to my knowledge.
And that's, yeah, I think I'm saying going forward, I know that you're under a time crunch and Victoria's under a time crunch.
I get all that, Mayor, but for example, it shows in there $1.4 million for meters. That's not in the proposed budget. It shows $3.9 million for wastewater treatment plant. That's not in the budget. And so I just think we are doing a disservice to our residents to say we're gonna approve a capital improvement plan that is not reflective of the budget. There's a whole bunch of them in there. There's a new generator for the animal control facility at $50,000. It's not in there. It's not in the budget either.
So in the past, last year it was written in the budget?
No,
No.
again, did not have it connected to the budget item.
Okay, all right, let's vote.
Aye.
Councilmember Escobedo,
Nay.
Councilmember Stevens,
Nay.
City Secretary, Resolution 2025-08-19 passed with Councilmember Portillo, Councilmember Martinez, and Councilmember Lucas voting in favor of it. Councilmember Escobedo and Councilmember Stevens voted against it. Okay, moving on to action item D, City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Item D is approved resolution 2025-08-20. A resolution authorizing participation as a Texas political subdivision in the opioid settlement agreements pursuant to the Texas term sheet. Authorizing the city manager to execute settlement participation and release forms for current and future settlements and providing an effective date.
Okay, I need a motion.
I propose we approve resolution 2025-08-21 as presented.
I need a second. Okay, discussion, City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. This resolution authorizes the city's participation in a statewide opioid settlement agreement and allows execution of the necessary settlement and release form for current and future cases. It basically opens us up for funding and, you know, I did receive legal advice and as far as any implications, and Cynthia did think that it'd be a good idea, you know, that there's not really too much that could go wrong by applying. And then also Chief Lasoya was looking to apply for this as well.
Okay, great. All right, Councilmember Escobedo.
I know that there's a lot of this that's happening throughout the United States, so I think that is important that we do this.
Councilmember Stevens.
Yeah, thanks, Mayor. So my observation is it's free money. It's $30,000 city of Alpine. I know that the county would get $60,000 if they participated. I would also say that only represents 15% of the settlement. So most of the money goes elsewhere, but I'm always one about OPM, take other people's money, we'll take it and run with it. So I support it.
Okay, Councilmember Lucas.
I'm right there with Rick. That's what I was reading too, and I'm in the bid free month.
Councilmember Martinez.
Yeah, I'm totally agree with it, and I was hoping that Chief Lozoya would give us a good idea about this plan.
Right now.
If he was.
Chief.
Chief, do you have an
Come on up.
opinion about this? Wake up. Hello.
And you want the judge to speak as well? And Judge, did you want to speak as well? Okay,
So the main part, Chief Darrell Soy, about police department, the main part of it is making sure that you stay within the guidelines of the money being provided. And I think the primary thing for us to use it for is just continue our community oriented policing and making sure that the public is aware that that's what the money is being used for.
Okay.
And so, like my always issue is to make sure the part of community oriented policing, they just use it for those purposes.
any questions for the chief? Councilmember Portillo?
No, ma'am.
Martinez?
Thank you.
Lucas? Councilmember Escobedo? Councilmember Stevens?
So the 30,000 would go to you?
Not totally, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what, you raised some great points about policing and all that, which is all the right things.
Yes, sir.
Does this 30,000 just go in the general fund?
Honestly, Cynthia was gonna say.
Cynthia?
Right. So the state of Texas, when it provides the funding, it tells you The state will tell you what types of programs you can use it for. It is a dedicated fund. All right, so those funds have to be accounted for, accounted for in and out. And then used for the purposes, of each particular grant. So they can be used for policing, they can be used for educational, drug awareness types of programs. It can be used to even, if possible, bring, not that $30,000 gets you that far, but to bring in additional help, for drug counseling and that sort of thing. So it will all be detailed out by the particular program. I have not yet seen what those programs will look like for this particular settlement fund, but I'm imagining that they are all going to run pretty much the same, which is there will be a grant process. You fill out the paperwork, you get your funding, the state tells you these are the programs you can use it for, and then you just plug and play and account for them, accordingly.
So what I think I heard is then we're giving authority to sign up to let the AG do his thing. And then we'll have to come back and apply for up to $30,000 based upon whatever program they come out with.
That's how they ran the previous ones. I don't know if the grant application process is still part of that, but the first opioid settlements worked that way. Now you may actually just get the money, with a directive that says, here's your share, of the pot, and these are the things you can use it for. And then city council, you just work with your department heads on what programs you would like to see those put through. Sounds like Chief has already, has some thoughts and plans for that.
Yeah, well, that's how, when I read through the whole package, that's what I thought it was, and that's why I asked you to explain it. So basically with the 30,000, we allocated based on the expenses.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thanks.
And education is already one thing that we've already started working on. We've got a new fentanyl package that we have for education so that we can have training.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Super.
Thank you. Okay, and Judge, did you want to come speak?
Let me make a couple of clarifications. Judge Hennington, Brewster County, we already participating in the settlement. We've already received some money. Our share is pretty small, but like yours is.
Yep.
The scope is very narrow, what you can use it for, so you can't just put it in general fund. You can't buy ammunition. You have to use it for specifically either education, first responders, that sort of thing. I'll make a suggestion. We're gonna throw in, now there's a number of class settlements, so you're gonna be asked to participate in several of them. This wasn't a huge class settlement, so every drug entity, Purdue, so forth, those got sued differently. So we're gonna throw, the hospital district has got a series of committees. Aren't you, Darryl? Aren't you involved in the hospital district committees? Okay, hospital district is getting a very large chunk of money. I'm gonna advocate to you guys, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our little 18,000 so far, and we may get more. We're gonna throw it in to the pot of what the hospital district is. And then the hospital district is already, has got a series of committees, and we can certainly get Darryl on that. It's broken down into education, healthcare, law enforcement, and each committee has been responsible for coming up with a strategy based on what the criteria is on how we're gonna spend the money. I would argue this is a great chance to do this collectively as multi-agencies instead of each of us going out and really getting on top of each other, because that's what's gonna happen. Just let y'all throw in with us, we'll throw in with the hospital district. Certainly, everybody's free to serve on the committees to make the decisions. And then we've got a bundle of money. We've got over $100,000 to spend, and we're not spending on top of you guys. I mean, you can only buy so much Narcan.
Yeah.
I mean, we're choking on Narcan already, so there's some other things we want to do. And so I throw that out for thought. Think about throwing in with us and then throwing into the hospital. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, anything else, council?
I think we need to work together. That to me is very important.
Yep.
I did attend, and I wanted to say a CPR class that Joe had put on there. And he had given us information on Narcan, which was very, very informative. Thank you.
Okay. All right, are we ready to vote on resolution 2025-0? Hey, Councilmember Portillo? Aye.
Aye.
City Secretary Council voted unanimously to approve resolution 2025-08-20. Moving on to action item E, city manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Item E is approval of the building services and environmental services job description, including building official, code enforcement officer, permit technician, environmental services, administrator, and recycling technician.
Okay, I need a motion.
We approve it as presented.
I need a second.
Second.
Any discussion, city manager?
Thank you. This item does approve the aforementioned job descriptions, and it helps align the different positions that we have in classifying them under the compensation study grades. Basically aligning with the compensation study the council approved in November 2024.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
Councilmember Portillo, Councilmember Martinez,
No questions.
Councilmember Escobedo.
No.
Councilmember Lucas.
Yes. Yeah, I know you had sent us the email in regards to the billing services. And as I'm reading through this. Because fortunately I was the one that.
Filled out the chat. Right?
Yeah. And so it's like everything that the building service or director of building services, which is our building official. And I understand there's differentiations depending on what municipality you may or may not be in. And I understand that we're not going to take all the space to put their entire job description in there. But with our education experience and stuff, is this what the Evergreen, right? Came back with?
Yes, I didn't change it. I just sent it to the department for update, just in case they had any, as far as the meat and potatoes is concerned.
Yeah.
I sent every single job description we've approved to the departments just to kind of get their feedback and what have you. But it was what Evergreen provided us, unless we were missing a job description, which happened, but we reached out to them and they provided us a draft and we went on from there. So yes, this is from the consultant.
Okay. And Jessica Isley, our building official, currently edited it.
That's correct.
Okay. Yeah. And Jessica, what do you think?
Come to the
about
podium.
What your department has here?
Be sure to state your name and department.
Jessica Isley, building official, city of Alpine. I discussed this with Gio, previously, that I didn't feel like the building official title really reflected what the job really is, because all of the other directors are under director of utilities, director of public works. And so the building official position, I don't know the compensation study, if they did it just based off of that title. Because there's two different types of titles. A director of building services encompasses the whole department. And so they have more responsibilities than just being a building official. A building official can work under a director of building services. So I had discussed with Gio that I feel like that line item was not submitted into the compensation study. So when I edited it as director of building services and matched the same line item in the compensation as all the other directors. However, I was told that we're not really changing any of the salaries that were on there. I did send him the backup information on how I came up with that conclusion. But like I said, I honestly would just remove director of building services off that title and maybe go back with the compensation study and allow them to look up the actual studies based off of a director position. Because I edited it as what I am, and it's not really just a building official, I'm the director of the whole department.
And I could provide some context. So essentially, this consultant was tasked, the employee needed to fill out a job analysis tool, which Rob did. And that job analysis tool, the employee described, I do this every day, I do that every day, I manage people. And so based on that, the consultant would reclassify an employee if they thought they were the wrong title, or they should have, right? So I explained to Jessica that we weren't revisiting pay grades at this point because this isn't the first request that I've received. And in order to ensure the fairness and integrity of this compensation study, it really would take more than just a small search. We would need to look at the target cities, look at the director position that is included in there, see if it was building official, see if they are called director of building services. I mean, to ensure fairness and impartiality. You know, it's gonna take a lot more than just a quick Google search, and the consultant, we spent $35,000 on this compensation study. There's things about it that I don't agree with, there's things about it that other employees don't agree with. But it was supposed to be based on the JAT that the director at the time filled out. So unless that JAT was filled out wrong, you know, they would have seen in these different target cities that the position was called Director of Building Services, not building official. It just opens up a can of worms where if we're gonna start looking at one, we should start looking at them all. So that's my.
And so, I mean, it has both. You're saying just go with one or the other?
So when he gave me the edits, I don't think it shows the strikeout edits and
No,
what was
it
added
doesn't.
in, so. What was, I don't know if it shows actually what was taken out and what was put in on your guys' page. So I was given the title building official, so I would recommend it being changed to just being building official because I've added the director of building services. And technically, that's not the job description that's been given.
And to note, I did reach out to the consultant saying, hey, I received an inquiry regarding this. Can you provide the methodology that you use? Can you confirm? You know, it was the same comparable position in the city and I haven't heard back.
So you're saying that it does not meet the job description for a building official or for the director of building services?
The title that was given was building official.
Right.
And
yeah,
so I
this
changed,
has both.
yeah, I changed it to director of building services and encompassed everything in that. All the job duties of what a director of building services would entail, not just a building official,
Which is what we.
which is what you have in front of you. So it would change what the name is on the compensation study, because the compensation study says
Gotcha.
building official, but I made a job description for what I really am, which is a
Yeah.
director, so you're getting the director's.
Yeah, that's
description.
fine. So then we're good with this one then. Knowing that it's not gonna be able to, I'm sure there's a bunch of them that aren't gonna be encompassing of everything that they do, which fine. But we're good with this one. And then per your email, we'll address the rest of it at a later date.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds great. I think when we have
Yeah.
more time and resources,
Yeah,
anybody who has
absolutely.
concerns might be able to go back to those target cities, and
Right.
collect the data that we need to make an informed decision from the target cities, since that's what it was all based on.
And you're good with the other ones, your code enforcement and your permit tech?
Yeah, originally we didn't have a code enforcement, so I built that one, and then the permit tech, we just edited a little bit.
The issue with that is we didn't have a code enforcement officer at the time to fill out a JAT.
Yeah, it was a little gray area, but yeah. Sorry, I just, since she was here, wanted to get her input on what she thought about them. Thank you, Jessica.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Councilmember Stevens? Okay, are we ready to vote?
Aye.
Hi.
Thank you. City Secretary Council voted unanimously to approve the building services, environmental services job descriptions. Moving on to action item F, City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Item F is approve award of bid responsive to RFP 2025-08-01. A request for proposals for partial self insured, funded and fully funded medical plans.
I need a motion.
We approve the award of the bid response to RFP 2025-01-01.
I need a second. Okay, discussion, City Manager.
Thank you. So this action does approve the award of a contract. I would ask that you all amend the motion to just specifically list the awardee as Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas, because they are the only response that we received. A little bit about this RFP. We initially posted it in May and we identified some issues under state law. Just some things that weren't done correctly. And including the only bid received was from Blue Cross Blue Shield, our current provider. It was a renewal and they didn't submit it by the deadline. So in order to meet the deadline for open enrollment that we're having here next week, we had to kind of move fast with this one. So Blue Cross did get this one on time and they're the only one that we received, so we're looking to renew it.
So I amend the motion to approve the award of the partial self-funded and fully funded medical plan award to go to Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Of Texas, right?
I'm sorry,
Of Texas.
Texas.
Yes. I need a second.
I second it.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, any discussion on the original motion? Okay, let's vote on the motion as amended to award the partial self-funded insured and fully funded medical plans to awardee Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas. Let's vote on that amendment.
Aye.
Aye. City Manager Council unanimously approved the amendment to the awardee of Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas. Now let's vote on the original motion as amended.
Aye.
Aye.
City manager, council voted to dispose of that original motion. We're going with the amended one. All right, executive reports. City mayor report. I just want to tell council, I'm super impressed. Thank you for all your hard work. You guys really look at the agendas and do your research, and you talk to stakeholders regarding each of the items. And you are voting with knowledge behind you. And I appreciate that. It makes for a very efficient council. And I have been told that this council is being called the dream team
Oh.
around town by various members of the community. So congratulations. All right, city manager, 6 minutes. We can extend to 10 if needed. And council, let me remind you that since he has items listed here, those are things you can ask questions about or discuss. Toma.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll start off with streets. The street department has been doing road work following a month-long pause due to heavy rainfall. They're currently working on 4 blocks on Avenue J, 3 blocks on South Chastain around that area, 2 blocks South Berkeley, and 5 blocks Del Rio. That's what's coming up soon. Progress has been impacted as well by limited access to materials, particularly the asphalt. Our primary vendor has been required to prioritize state orders, so that caused a bit of a delay. But despite those challenges, we're actively working to catch up on outstanding work orders. So additional updates, we are looking to hire a recreation coordinator position. We want to fill that role at the latest by January or February 2026. And we are making improvements at the city yard to try to house another employee because we're out of space here at City Hall. Primarily, that person would be located at the pool during pool season, so that would help. As far as the swimming pool, we are looking to prepare for the upcoming season by hiring that position, and we're also looking to get a vendor to perform an official inspection, just to let us know where we are and what we need to do to ensure that we're meeting all the requirements. As far as the zipper and loader, those are expected both to be delivered by mid-September.
Hey.
And in water, wastewater, the water and wastewater department continues to manage significant infrastructure challenges, as I'm sure you may have seen on social media and driving this weekend. We had our team out all night. I think it was Thursday. When was it? Thursday? Sunday night. Yeah. Mike was out since 9 p.m. till the next morning and Monday morning. That's what it was. So that there was a major leak near the Coca-Cola plant, caused the upper hill tank to drop. So the crews have resolved that issue by placing 2 clamps. We do recognize that there's some significant issues that we need to address, such as the memory lane leak. We still have that on our radar, and the director has noted that certain areas of the system they've just been clamped repeatedly, and that leads to cracks further down the stream. So that cycle of repair has really created inefficiencies for us, and it highlights the need for us to focus more on long-term solutions and not just fixing it with the Band-Aid. As far as staffing operations, the director did advise me that he is looking to make changes as far as meter reading is concerned. And he is thinking about hiring 2 part-time meter readers and an additional employee as a worker 1. That should help alleviate a lot of the workload pressure that we're experiencing at the moment. Additionally, we are looking to hire an assistant director of utilities. We have a good candidate in mind. Somebody who's worked for us previously and has done a really good job. Despite the heavy workload, I have been advised that the morale does remain strong, and that's really important. And I'm really proud about that. But other than that, the department, of course, has identified smart meters being a critical investment that should help going forward. So we're going to keep pursuing that project as well. And as far as the wastewater treatment plant, the clarifier project is on schedule to hopefully be completed by September 2025.
Great.
Building services did advise me that they've issued a lot of high weeds notices in recent weeks, primarily, of course, due to the increased rainfall. We're experiencing a lot of high weeds. That's probably the most common code enforcement concern. They do also continue to address general complaints regarding code compliance as they come. They advised me that Lucia is preparing to open, and that's the restaurant that's going to be in the former Lucia location. Other than that, we've been having A bit of a time trying to get Union Pacific to fully mow their weeds, but we're working on that. The police department chief advised us that one police officer candidate has been interviewed and he has an open position for the task force. He also, I believe, made an offer for an administrative assistant, so that should help out there. They participated in a CRAZE or civilian response to active shooter event at the hospital. So that's gonna enhance the community's readiness. I heard that went well. Next month, the department will conduct joint training with the railroad on hazardous material handling, derailment response and related emergency procedures. And chief would like to congratulate Kirk Hoffman as he's achieved a certification as an active shooter response instructor and is now qualified across all inspection and training components.
Good deal.
Lastly, the PD did advise me they're finalizing an MOU with Permia Care to improve coordination in addressing mental health and substance abuse challenges within the community. As far as the gas department is concerned, staff successfully installed a 2-inch gas service line at Fort Davis Community Center. Final details are being completed to assist there in making that fully operational. They continue to focus on DIMP, which is the Distribution Integrity Management Program. They have approximately 10 to 15 services remaining to be completed before the end of the year. And of course, they continue to address grade 3 leaks identified through recent surveys. Other than that, they are proactively trying to prep for their audit that's coming in September and just trying to remain compliant with the Railroad Commission. As far as the budget, we are continuing to work on the budget. Like I mentioned earlier, we do have a workshop next Tuesday at 5:30 and one on September 4th at 4 p.m. Looking forward to that conversation. And then as far as the utility billing software transition is concerned, Carmen Rodriguez did get access to that new software today for the first time. We've got our eyes on it and she's looking through the data. They're reviewing customer accounts to confirm the data transition was completed accurately. And then they're going to add additional employees this week to that as well. So we're gonna have a training here at City Hall. So City Hall will be closed on. Can I extend it 4 minutes?
Yes, please.
So City Hall will be closed Thursday, August 28th from 1 to 5 p.m. for that staff training. Okay. Other than that, we do plan to have some community engagement or a town hall on the week of September 15th to introduce all of our customers to that. As far as grants is concerned, we are in the process of hiring a dedicated grant writer to administer our current programs because we really need the assistance. Marcy Tuck did a phenomenal job coming in and helping us get back on track, but it's a lot to keep up with. And Isabel, our assistant to the city manager, has a lot on her plate with all the projects we have going on. So we really need somebody to help us with the grants going forward. So we are hiring for that. Other than that, as far as the city manager search, as you all know, this evening, you will review applications for city manager and provide direction on who you want the directors to interview. And then the directors will make our recommendations to the council as far as what we believe or what we think on those applicants. As a final reminder, I will be attending the legislative update seminar the next 3 days, and that'll be in Georgetown. So I am looking forward to getting those critical updates on changes that affect the city based on the last legislative session.
Okay,
That's
great.
it for me. Do you have any
Great.
questions?
Councilmember Portillo,
No, ma'am. Thank you.
Councilmember Martinez. You did never mention about the economic development plan. Are you going to hire anybody because Heather resigned?
Oh, that's a great question. We did budget for the department, so we have that position budgeted. I am personally not looking to hire for that position at the moment because the feedback that I had from that individual was that we should have a little bit more structure and funds backing that department before we hire for it again. She says that we really need to have something in place to kind of, I guess, as far as funds are concerned, to be able to get any projects off the ground. And that's what she learned at the conference that she attended. So I was waiting for the new city manager to hire for that position, but we do have it budgeted.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Councilmember Lucas, Councilmember Escobedo, Councilmember Stevens. Okay, great. Thank you, Gio. All right, let's move on to councilmember comments, 1 minute each. Councilmember Stevens.
I've got nothing else to add. Thank you.
Okay. Councilmember Escobedo,
Thank y'all for coming.
Councilmember Lucas. Councilmember Martinez. I want to thank our audience today. It's a pleasure to have all of you see happy faces. Thank you for coming. Councilmember Portillo.
No, ma'am.
Great.
All right, so that brings us to item number 14, executive session pursuant to chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code. The city council reserves the right to convene into executive session from time to time as deemed necessary during this meeting for any posted agenda item or to receive advice from an attorney as permitted by law. Tonight, the city council will recess into executive session pursuant to section 551.071 and 551.074. 551.071 regards a letter of demand and review of the Texas Disposal System contract. 551.074 review and discuss applicants for city manager, operational, finance, and personnel discussions and considerations. May I have a motion to move into executive session? May I have a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Let's vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, city, yeah, city secretary, council voted unanimously to move into executive session at 6:50 PM. And with that, we're gonna take a 5-minute break. May I have a motion to reconvene into open session? I need a second.
Second.
Any discussion?
No, ma'am.
Let's vote.
Aye.
City Secretary Council voted unanimously to move into open session at 8:20 PM. Okay, this brings us to item number 15, action after executive session. May I have a motion?
I move that city council take no action after executive session.
I need a second.
Second.
Any discussion? Let's vote on the no action.
Aye.
Aye.
City Secretary Council voted unanimously not to take any action after executive session. And with that, we adjourn at 8:20 PM. Hey.